It's truly amazing to think that 30 years ago, this day, well, maybe not this day, but 30 years ago, you get the point. When mom and dad started Young Living as a business partnership, mother believed so much in dad, and his vision soon became her vision, and they worked together to create what we have today. And that's all thanks to you as well. It was a humble beginning with little money and meager resources, and every single penny was pinched before it was spent. But the mission was magnificent, bordering on the ridiculous. Imagine essential oils in every home?
Let's go! Woo! Mom and dad worked so closely together, traveling everywhere and making decisions about the business they were building.
I remember dad telling mom that she was such a great business partner that he wondered if he should clone her so that he could have a wife and they would both laugh.
It was a huge undertaking in the beginning, and then when dad started investigating the production of essential oils, his years of growing up on the ranch when farming was a way of life took on a new meaning.
His dream expanded into farming and growing aromatic plants. The very first farm in St. Mary's was just the beginning of a new way of educating and inviting members to be a part of the production. St. Mary's was the first in so many ways. The first farm, the first distillery, the first of so many setbacks, failures, and successes, or as my dad defined these, learning experiences. But also the first farm, the first step, and the first key to what you have now.
The St. Mary's Farm is also the place where mom and dad developed their business partnership, which unexpectedly blossomed their business partnership, into a connection and a marriage that eventually made both of our lives possible.
Mom and dad were married in the fall of 1994. So the first convention took place in 1995 in Coeur d'Alene and at the St. Mary's Farm. Dad was so excited to have just 200 people attend and to have them at the farm to see his first stationary distillery that he built out of logs. As soon as they had established their new business in Utah, Dad went looking for land and found a farm in Mona that was used just for raising beef. Some people might think it was a bit risky to buy all that land, but Dad could only see the possibilities and the thousands and all of you who would come to visit.
Dad was always looking to the future. He started drawing plans for the Young Living headquarters back in 1994, but it wasn't until 2016 that he approved the plans for our new global headquarters and the ribbon cutting that took place in May of 2019.
Dad even drew the blueprints for the little log cabin outside the building. He wanted to replicate the log cabin he grew up in and show the dramatic contrast of how dreams can grow and turn into something perhaps bigger than we can ever envision.
Can you imagine his whole family living in that little one-room cabin without running water and electricity?
8 of them sharing one tub? That's some dirty water, let me tell you that. And Dad was last, he was the youngest, so you can imagine how gross it was by the time he got there. When I go inside and see those beds and the old stove, I don't really have words to describe my feelings. It affects me so much to see how far we've come, how far one man that had such a dream, such a vision, could accomplish it all.
That family had nothing outside of what they provided for themselves living in the mountains. And yet, I heard in many of Dad's presentations how he wanted something better than what he had growing up. But his idea of something better was building a life for himself in the wilderness of northern British Columbia. It's hard to comprehend that because of that accident, where he was told he would be confined to a wheelchair for life, he went down an unknown path in his determination to walk again, which took 13 years.
It is inspiring to me, as it should be to you, to see that contrast. And that all became possible because of the wonderful products he formulated for all of you. his knowledge of essential oils that he shared with the world and with all who would listen. And our fabulous, fabulous family, all of you, who believed in his mission and helped take his message to the world. Product quality is one of our foremost importance here at Young Living. Dad traveled many times to different places in the world, and specifically to Europe, to attend classes and seminars on essential oils with chemistry and analysis. His passion for learning was so infectious that he even invited you to attend a week-long course at the university in Ikishir, Turkey, where he was teaching essential oil chemistry and application.
After all that studying and being trained to analyze the oil chemistry, Dad bought his first GC, which was the beginning of Young Living's laboratory.
Everything started small. Everything started from a seed that was planted. And now Young Living has one of the most sophisticated laboratories in the world.
One of my favorite convention openers was for the 2002 convention, creating something to believe in. The convention opened with a story similar to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but this was Indiana Young and the elixir of life. The elixir was Nature Red.
And believe it or not, Kelly Case, one of our own, was actually in the audience preventing the ball from rolling off the trolley if that were to ever happen. The products were catching on, and Young Living began to expand internationally. Japan and Australia were the first two markets to officially open.
Woo!
Today, it's gone a lot bigger. You guys don't seem to slow down anytime. Young Living operates in more than 70 countries, regions, and territories, and we have you attending from 49 of those, as you saw from this morning's flag procession.
In 2002, Dad bought another farm in Provence, France, very near to where he learned the art of distillation from master distillers Henri Villot and Marcel Espiau. The farm was also near the home of Jean-Noel and Jane Landel, who became very close friends with Dad. Jean-Noel was Dad's business partner for almost 30 years, and although now retired, his son Nicholas, who we lovingly call the Lavender Prince, is not only the farm manager, but also part of the Young Living sourcing team and is the director over farms and EMEA.
In 2006, Young Living acquired another farm near Guayaquil, Ecuador, on the outskirts of a little town called Chongong. Finca Botanica is one of my favorite farms because so much of our childhood was spent there, from riding four-wheelers and operating excavators and doing so many fun things that your parents would never want your little children to do. But Dad embraced that, and we loved it so much, we were just told, please don't tell Mom, and boy, did we tell Mom.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure.
Our friends were the children of the farm employees, and our friends were those that went to school with us at the Young Living Academy, and because of them, we learned Spanish pretty quickly.
Yeah, we have to talk about Young Living Academy because I'm telling you, most everyone knows the story of the cinder block building that had holes in the walls as windows, no water, and no electricity, and every time a car drove past, this little building became engulfed in a cloud of dust. When Dad learned it was a school, he wanted to help, and so he purchased a large piece of ground across the street and down the road a bit and built the students a wonderful new school. Whew, okay. So hard. It is so rewarding to see the D. Gary Young Living Foundation expand its mission around the world.
The Academy was built because we were living there, and Dad wanted to help the community. He wants to help wherever he goes. He loved the farming and the discovery of new plants, but he wanted to produce oils in other places to increase our own supply of oils. 10 years ago, he built the Highland Flats Tree Farm and Distillery so that he wouldn't have to haul wood chips to St. Mary's Distillery, which was a 125-mile trip that was often extremely dangerous because of winter conditions. If you have ever had the opportunity to sit passenger while my dad drives 4 long, massive trailers on a 1-lane road on the backcountries of the Benawa area, let me tell you, it's a great and terrifying experience all at the exact same time, especially when you look off to your right and it's a 1,000-foot drop. In the summer of 2014, Dad started building the Northern Lights Farm and Distillery in Fort Nelson, British Columbia. He was so determined to supply Young Living with black spruce that he worked through the harsh winter months and fired the boiler the following March.
I remember when we all went to Croatia for a seminar Dad was teaching, but he had more ideas and started looking for a farmer to partner with for the production of helichrysum. Yeah, I hear you. He bought a building and built this distillery inside that was completed in an amazing 19 days.
I swear it's an unofficial Guinness World Record.
Yeah, we gotta check that out. That facility has now become an important warehouse and fulfillment center for our members in Europe.
My favorite and personal of all the farms that we have is, of course, the Skyrider Ranch, which many of you have been able to visit. In 2014, Dad acquired the Skyrider Wilderness Ranch with the intent that it would be his retreat to get away from his busy life. But he loved it so much and he wanted to share it with all of you. It has since become an important place for employee trainings, member events, a place for our family to escape and take employee snowmobiling, and of course, his final resting place.
We have so many wonderful memories at the ranch with Dad. It's his final resting place, like Jacob said, and we welcome all of you who would like to come and visit and enjoy the beauty and peacefulness of the mountains, which Dad loved so much.
And speaking of Skyrider Ranch, I heard that the foundation might have a retreat that all of you could possibly win, where I will take you on a snowmobiling trip.
Whoa! Woo!
Our newest farm, which I was happy to go to because I love Japan, is of course in Okinawa, Japan. Kate and I had the privilege to go to Diamond Retreat and share in that excitement with all of you. We are so happy to have a Young Living farm in Asia that is closer for our brand partners to visit who live in that part of the world. I know some of you travel many, many miles for many, many hours to get here, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Mom did a 5-country tour after the convention in Singapore, and I was lucky to be there. I love our members in that part of the world. They are so dedicated, and we shared a lot of fun and laughter with them.
What is so inspiring to me is looking back at our past, but it is just as important to look for the future. We produce the best products in the world and have beautiful working farms and distilleries because of all of you.
Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. However, you, our brand partners, are the most important part of our business because you are the ones who carry our message to the world. Young Living would not be here if it weren't for all of you, for whom we are so grateful for.